In 2013, two economists at Oxford University sat down and asked a question that no one had dared to ask out loud. They took 702 occupations, every major job category in the American economy, and they ran each one through a model designed to answer a single question. How likely is it that a machine replaces this job within the next 20 years? Their findings sat in academic journals for months. Then the internet found them, and nothing has been the same since. The study was authored by Benedikt Frey and Michael Osborne. At the time, most economists believed automation was a manufacturing problem. Factory workers, assembly lines, that was the threat. Frey and Osborne disagreed. They argued that the real wave hadn't started yet, that it would hit white-collar workers, service workers, and knowledge workers, the people who had always felt safe. Their headline number became famous around the world. 47% of U.S. jobs were at high risk of automation, nearly half, in 20 years. Now, I want to be precise here, because this is a topic where a lot of people exaggerate in both directions. Some people say AI will take all our jobs. Others say automation always creates more jobs than it destroys. Both of those statements are too simple. The truth is more nuanced and more interesting, because what the data actually shows is not that jobs disappear completely. What happens is that tasks disappear. And when enough tasks in a job are automated, the job itself becomes unrecognizable or unnecessary. Let me show you exactly how this works. Let's start with the jobs at highest risk. Over 85% probability of automation. Telemarketer, 99%. Think about what a telemarketer does. They follow a script. They respond to common objections. They log data. AI can do all three simultaneously across 10,000 phone calls at once. Title examiner, 98%. Data entry clerk, 99%. Insurance underwriter, 94%. Paralegal, 94%. Notice something about that last one. Paralegal is not a low-skill job. It requires legal training. It pays well. It has always felt secure, and it is 94% likely to be automated within 20 years. Here is why the legal industry is especially vulnerable. The majority of what junior lawyers and paralegals do is document review. Reading contracts, finding precedents, summarizing depositions. In 2023, a law firm in New York ran an experiment. They gave the same document review task to both a team of paralegals and an AI system called Harvey. The paralegals took 4 days. The AI took 11 minutes. The AI's accuracy was higher. The firm kept its senior partners. The junior staff was cut by 60%. This is not a prediction. This already happened. Now let's look at the medium risk zone. Between 40 and 85% probability. Accountant, 94%. Actually, I moved this to high risk. The studies since 2020 have updated the figures significantly upward. Radiologist. This one is fascinating. For decades, radiologists were considered one of the safest medical professions. High pay, high expertise, low physical risk. Then in 2017, Stanford University released an AI called ChiXNet. It diagnosed pneumonia from chest x-rays more accurately than the average radiologist. The medical community said, "Don't worry, AI will assist radiologists, not replace them." 4 years later, the number of radiology training positions in the U.S. declined for the first time in 30 years. Assist, then reduce, then replace. That is the pattern, and this pattern shows up across industry after industry. In finance, AI trading algorithms now execute 70% of all stock market trades. The number of floor traders on Wall Street has dropped from 5,000 in 2000 to fewer than 400 today. In journalism, the Associated Press uses AI to write over 3,000 financial earnings reports per quarter, each one used to require a junior reporter. In customer service, Bank of America's AI assistant, Erica, handles over 2 million customer interactions per day. That's the work of thousands of call center employees. The jobs aren't always eliminated overnight, but they shrink, they consolidate, they transform. And for millions of workers, the change comes before they are ready. So which jobs are safe? Frey and Osborne identified 3 characteristics that make a job resistant to automation. First, social intelligence. Jobs that require understanding human emotions, building trust, navigating complex social dynamics. Think therapists, negotiators, social workers, nurses, specifically bedside nurses, not diagnostic work. AI can analyze sentiment, but it cannot sit beside a grieving family at 3 a.m. and know, without being told, exactly when to speak and when to be silent. That is a human skill, and it will remain one for a long time. Second characteristic, creative intelligence. Not just the ability to produce creative output. AI can write poetry and paint pictures, but the ability to create meaning in ambiguous, undefined situations. An AI can write a formula for an advertisement. It cannot walk into a room, read the cultural moment, sense what people are afraid to say out loud, and create a campaign that shifts public consciousness. The most valuable creative work is not pattern replication. It is pattern disruption. And disruption requires understanding what the existing patterns even mean in a deeply human context. This is why the highest-paid creative directors, strategists, and brand architects are more in demand today than they were 5 years ago, not less. Third characteristic, manual dexterity in unpredictable environments. Robots are extraordinarily good at precise, repetitive physical tasks in controlled environments. But ask a robot to be a plumber, to crawl into a space it has never seen before, identify a problem that wasn't in its training data, improvise a solution with whatever tools are available, and do it at 11 p.m. in someone's flooded basement. This is one of the hardest things to automate in the world, and it is why skilled tradespeople, electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, have among the lowest automation risk scores of any occupation. The irony? In many countries, these jobs pay less than the white-collar jobs that are far more vulnerable. That gap will close in the next decade. Let me give you the specific jobs that researchers believe will grow in the age of AI. Mental health professionals. Global demand is already outpacing supply. AI cannot replicate therapeutic relationships. AI trainers and evaluators. Humans are needed to teach AI systems, correct their mistakes, and ensure they behave as intended. Data scientists. The people who interpret what AI produces and translate it into business decisions. Skilled tradespeople, as I mentioned. Electricians, plumbers, construction managers, educators, specifically at the relationship level. A great teacher is not a content delivery system. A great teacher changes how a student thinks about themselves. AI cannot do that. Not yet. Not for a very long time. So when does all of this actually happen? Here is my honest assessment based on the research. By 2026, AI handles the majority of routine document processing, basic customer service, and data analysis tasks. Millions of roles are restructured, not eliminated, but fundamentally changed. By 2028, automation begins reaching into mid-level professional services, accounting, legal research, basic medical diagnostics. White-collar job losses become statistically visible in official employment data. By 2030, the McKinsey Global Institute estimates that between 75 and 375 million workers worldwide will need to switch occupational categories. That is not switch jobs, switch categories. This is not a crisis that is coming. This is a transition that has already begun. So what can you actually do? 3 things. Practical, specific. First, audit your job for tasks, not just title. Write down every task you do in a week. Then for each one, ask, could AI do this in 3 years? If more than 60% of your tasks are automatable, your job is changing whether you prepare for it or not. Second, move toward the human layer of your profession. Every industry has a human layer that AI cannot reach. In finance, client relationships and strategic judgment. In medicine, patient communication and complex decision-making under uncertainty. Find that layer. Move toward it aggressively. Third, learn to work with AI, not against it. The people who will thrive in 2030 are not the ones who avoided AI. They are the ones who used it as a multiplier, so that one person with AI does the work of 10 without it. That is your competitive advantage. Starting right now. 300 years ago, the Industrial Revolution automated physical labor. It was painful. It was disruptive. Millions of people had their livelihoods overturned in a generation. But humanity adapted. New industries emerged. Standards of living eventually rose. The AI revolution is automating cognitive labor, and it is moving 10 times faster. The question is not whether your job will be affected. The question is whether you will shape the transition or be shaped by it. I want to hear from you. What is your job, and how vulnerable do you think it is? Leave a comment. I read every single one, and I'll feature the most interesting responses in a future video. Next video, we'll discuss the new jobs that AI is creating, jobs that literally did not exist 5 years ago. Some of them will surprise you. I'll see you then.